Scientists study Death Valley to better understand extreme environments. The valley provides important clues about how landscapes evolve in harsh climates. Researchers examine how rocks break apart under intense heat. They study how salt crystals grow across the valley floor. They also investigate how life adapts to survive in extreme deserts. In some ways, Death Valley resembles environments found on other planets. Parts of the valley are often compared to landscapes on Mars. Studying this desert helps scientists understand how similar environments might form elsewhere in the solar system. Despite its dangerous reputation, Death Valley is also incredibly beautiful. Sunrises paint the mountains with soft golden light. Sunsets turn the desert sky deep shades of orange and purple. At night, the valley becomes one of the best places in North America for stargazing. With almost no light pollution, the night sky becomes filled with thousands of stars. Visitors standing in the quiet desert often describe a powerful sense of isolation. The valley feels ancient and timeless. It reminds people how powerful nature can be. Death Valley may seem harsh and unforgiving, but it is also one of the most fascinating landscapes on Earth. A place where extreme heat, powerful geological forces, and rare forms of life all exist together. For scientists, explorers, and travelers, Death Valley remains a place of discovery, a place where the limits of survival are constantly tested, and a place that shows just how incredible and diverse our planet truly is. The landscape of Death Valley is unlike almost any other place in North America. Vast salt flats stretch across large parts of the valley floor. These white surfaces reflect sunlight intensely during the day. From a distance, they appear almost like frozen lakes made entirely of salt. One of the most famous locations in the valley is called Badwater Basin. Badwater Basin is the lowest point in North America. It lies approximately 86 meters below sea level. Standing at Badwater Basin, visitors can see mountains rising, thousands of meters above the valley. The contrast between the deep basin and the surrounding peaks creates a dramatic scene. During the hottest months, the air above the salt flats shimmers with heat. Salt crystals form large geometric patterns across the ground. These patterns developed over thousands of years as water slowly evaporated. The intense desert heat leaves behind minerals that accumulate across the valley floor. Another striking feature of Death Valley is its massive sand dunes. The Mesquite Flat sand dunes are among the most famous. Wind constantly moves sand across the desert. Over time, the dunes slowly change shape and location. Walking across the dunes can feel like walking across waves in a frozen ocean of sand. Despite its harsh appearance, Death Valley is not completely lifeless. Many plants and animals have adapted to survive in this extreme environment. Some desert plants bloom briefly after rare rainstorms. Occasionally, the valley experiences what scientists call a super bloom. During these events, thousands of flowers suddenly appear across the desert floor. For a short time, the valley transforms into a colorful landscape. Animals also survive in surprising ways. Coyotes roam the desert searching for food. Small rodents remain hidden underground during the hottest hours of the day. Lizards move quickly across the sand to avoid overheating. Some animals survive by becoming active only during the cooler nighttime hours. These remarkable adaptations allow life to exist, even in such a challenging environment. One of the strangest mysteries in Death Valley can be found at a location called Racetrack Playa. This dry lake bed appears empty at first glance, but scattered across the surface are large rocks. Many of these rocks have long trails behind them in the dry mud. It looks as if the rocks moved across the ground by themselves. For decades, scientists could not explain how this happened. No one had ever actually seen the rocks moving. Some people believed supernatural forces might be responsible. Others suggested powerful desert winds. Eventually, researchers discovered the true explanation. During rare winter conditions, a thin layer of water covers the playa. At night, temperatures can drop low enough for the water to freeze. Thin sheets of ice form across the surface of the lake bed. When sunlight warms the ice during the day, the sheets begin to break apart. Wind pushes the floating ice slowly across the surface. The ice gently pushes the rocks along the muddy ground. The movement is extremely slow and silent, but over time the rocks leave long trails behind them. The mystery of the moving rocks was finally solved through careful scientific observation. Death Valley contains many other unusual geological features. One colorful region known as Artist's Palette displays shades of red, yellow, green, and purple. These colors come from minerals inside the rocks. Iron creates red tones. Manganese produces dark colors. Other minerals contribute additional shades across the landscape. Another famous viewpoint is Zabriskie Point. From this location, visitors can see a maze of eroded hills. Stretching across the valley, the hills look almost like waves frozen in stone. Millions of years of erosion slowly carved these shapes into the landscape. Wind and occasional rainfall continue to reshape the valley even today. Scientists study Death Valley because it provides valuable insight into extreme environments. The valley helps researchers understand how landscapes change under intense heat and dryness. Geologists examine how salt crystals grow across the valley floor. They study how rocks break apart under extreme temperatures. Biologists investigate how plants and animals adapt to survive in desert conditions. In many ways, Death Valley also resembles environments found on other planets. Some regions of the valley look very similar to landscapes photographed on Mars. Studying this desert helps scientists understand how similar terrain may form elsewhere in the solar system. Despite its dangerous reputation, Death Valley is also a place of remarkable beauty. Sunrises illuminate the mountains with soft golden light. Sunsets turn the sky deep shades of red and purple. At night, the valley becomes one of the best places in North America to observe the stars. Because there is very little light pollution, the night sky appears incredibly clear. Thousands of stars become visible above the silent desert. Standing alone in the valley can create a powerful sense of isolation. The vast landscape stretches endlessly in every direction. Visitors often describe the experience as both peaceful and humbling. Death Valley reminds us how powerful nature can be. It shows how extreme environments shape the world around us. Although it may seem harsh and unforgiving, the valley is also full of scientific wonders. For explorers, scientists, and travelers, Death Valley remains one of the most fascinating landscapes on Earth. It is a place where survival is difficult, but it is also a place where nature reveals its most dramatic and extraordinary forms.